Hello everyone, this is Joe here with JoeTalks, and today we are going to talk about a latch that I came up with as a solution to the Ghost Controls automated gate system. A while back I did a video, and I'll put a link up here that if you want to go watch it, where I went through all the parts and pieces of that system and how I got it all installed and got it functioning. One of the issues I had with that latch was on the uh, automated gate latch, the anchor for that latch is so small, and since I was using an 18-foot steel gate, I was really having a hard time to getting that, they call it a zombie lock, to line up with this latch. And I was constantly having misalignment issues, both up and down, fore and aft, and it was crashing my gate sometimes. It was even getting to the point where my alarm would go off and sometimes run my battery down. And so I really needed to come up with a better solution, so that this latch would work better. And so that's what I want to go over in this video, is what I came up with, and how it works. And I'll show a short video here at the end of it installed and functioning. So this is what I came up with. And so this is going to bolt onto the gate. So I've got a 6x6 wooden gate, or wooden post, excuse me. And where this would normally bolt up to the side of the gate, this is going to go in its place. And so basically the center of this up and down is going to correspond with the center of where this would have been installed. And so the way that this is going to work is I just came up with a system that was kind of spring loaded, and I really wanted to come up with something that was cheap and easy. I didn't want to have to do a bunch of design work, a bunch of machining work, and I wanted to build this out of all parts that you could pick up at your local Lowe's or Home Depot. And so what this consists of is a piece of 2-inch by 3/16 flat stock steel, and again, bought this right at Lowe's. I cut it to 20 inches, or actually 19 inches, I think. It really doesn't matter. The length isn't that important. Neither is the width. You probably could have got by with a cheaper or smaller piece of steel. I had to buy a 3-foot piece of this, and it was like $30, which was kind of expensive, but that was all that Lowe's had. They were out of stock of any of the smaller stuff, so I just picked up what they had. But you could probably get by with even an 1.5 by 1/8 inch piece of steel. But basically what I did is I bent the ends up at 90 degrees on each end, and I took some measurements. So the gap between my post and the edge of my gate was about 3 inches. So I didn't want this length right here to be more than that 3 inches, because right, we don't want the gate to hit the edge of this thing. And then also the dimension from this surface right here, where this latch would have mounted to the gate, to the center of this post, this anchor post, was 1.5 inches. So what I did is I bent those over at 90 degrees and then measured off of this surface over 1.5 inches, and I drilled a couple of 3/8 inch holes. And this cable, again, bought at Lowe's, bought it by the foot. It's like 98 cents a foot. I just bought like 3 feet of it and cut it to the length I needed. But this is just, I think, 5/16 cabling with the plastic shielding around it. But I mean, you could really get any size you want as long as it's big enough to fit, but small enough to fit in the latch, but big enough that the plunger will still catch the cable. And then what I did on the ends here to give this some flexibility is I got just some coil springs, uh, again from Lowe's. I don't know the exact spring rate of these, but I mean, they're pretty. You can see that they don't have a lot of spring force in them, but it needs to be enough that it will hold this cable kind of, not real tight, but just allow it to be held in position. And then on the ends, I just have some basic cable clamps. And what I did is just put the clamps in, and then I pulled a little bit of pre-tension in the springs and tightened the clamps down. And then what this is going to allow that zombie lock to do is it will come in and it will hit this and any spring motion that's in that gate will be absorbed by this cable. And so basically at that point, that zombie lock can have some variance vertically and still hit this cable, and it can still have some variance fore and aft to allow that zombie lock to engage this cable, for that plunger to engage and then lock. So you could imagine if my hand was that zombie lock, it's going to come in and it can hit this and kind of spring in, bounce around, do whatever it needs, and then unlock and disengage. And so that is my replacement for this device right here. I made this about 15 inches. It's probably excessive, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. And so one of the things you might think right off the bat is that this kind of leaves some risk that someone could disassemble this thing and get through the gate, right? This is pretty secure. The bolts are behind the zombie lock. Somebody's not going to be able to tamper with this thing. There is some risk, right? Somebody could loosen the clamps. I think one thing I will do once I get this all in its final position is I'll put some JB weld on these threads so that they can't be loosened. They could cut this cable, right? I mean, but this is a thick enough cable, you're not going to cut through this with just simple snips or anything. This is going to take a set of bolt cutters to get through this thing. So, but really, if you think about this overall gate system, this gate at the end of my driveway is not going to keep anybody off of my property. So, if they want to get past the gate, they're going to find a way to get past the gate. Same way with this thing. If they want to get past this, even this, they'll probably, they could unbolt the zombie lock from the gate if they really wanted to. So technically this is not going to stop anybody, but this is really intended to be a deterrent, right? Same way with the gate, the overall system. It's not going to stop anybody physically, but it's going to be a deterrent. And that's what this is, right? And so this is going to keep that random person that's driving by, scoping out properties to steal stuff. If they see a gate and it's a pain in the butt to get past that gate, or there's any amount of work, right? To get past this is going to require some tools, right? You're not going to be able to just, quickly get past this. It's going to take a little bit of work. So it's going to deter that person. It's going to deter that meth head that's just looking to steal your copper, whatever. But it's not going to stop that person that really wants to get on your property. Now, let's say someone does get on your property, right? Well, when you've got a gate in place, especially if it's got a lock on it like this, even though the lock could be circumvented, it shows a clear intention to kind of trespass on your property, right? So if someone circumvents this or circumvents that gate that is in my previous video, it's pretty clear that they have ill intentions, right? They're up to no good, right? If they get the tools out and they cut the cables or they unbolt this from the post or whatever, right? That person has clear intentions to circumvent a security device, right? So God forbid anything ever happen and you find yourself in a court of law where you have to defend yourself. Having a system like this, it's just going to help tell that story that, hey, this person was up to no good. It's clear they were up to no good. They circumvented my security measure. It's very clear that they had intentions to cause harm. And God forbid you have to do anything to defend yourself. This would just be one more piece of artillery that your lawyer can use to help defend you. So anyway, there it is. There's my solution to that lock. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing painted up and I'll get it installed and we'll look at some video of it in action and working. So there it is. There you can see those springs kind of working there. Okay. Just like anything else, if this helps you out, like and subscribe to my video. I'm trying to build my subscriber base. So anyway, thank you, and hope this helps, and until the next one. Okay, there it is installed. I got it all painted up and put in place. So here you can kind of see that same kind of operation we looked at before. So let's go ahead and run the gate, and we will look at it and see how it works here. Give that gate a second to close. Alright, and there it is. Got clearance. So there we kind of see we've got some room to spring, but yet it's locked in place. Alright. That's it. And then we'll open it up here. All right, there we go.